Hey, good morning. Hey, this is Don from Lang Trailers, and doing another one of our podcasts with one of our great customers. We had the pleasure of Kiran Deck from Platinum Potty Rentals joining us today. So, Kiran, welcome to our podcast. If you could, when we get started, just give us a little bit of background on yourself and your company and when you got started.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for having me on the podcast, Don.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Kiran. I own Platinum Potty Rentals down here in Austin, Texas. We specifically do just restroom trailers. It's me. I started in October of 2024 is when I got my first trailer. So about 11 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
At this point now I have 4 trailers. We're just trying to grow steadily.
Yeah, I know the last 2 trailers came rather quickly.
Oh yeah,
which is great, and it can happen sometimes. It can go slow, and sometimes trailer business can really take off quickly. So we're going to dive in today about the first year in business. As a restroom trailer operator, what that looks like, the wins, the challenges, and the lessons learned. So, if you could you walk us through like your very first? You got your trailer, your first rental. What was your first job? How did it go? What did you learn?
Yeah. So I got my first trailer last year in October. First job came about a week after I got the trailer. It was kind of like a last minute thing. I don't even know how this client found me. I have like no connection to them before this, but they reached out and they're like, "Hey, I want a trailer on this date." And it was actually a remote site. So it was basically an open field with a pavilion. So they had no utilities. I had to provide a generator and water for them. So that was interesting. Like for a first job, I had to basically make my trailer self-sufficient, which I actually do a lot now. And I think it was actually a great learning experience because it put me in a position where right off the bat, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to do basically any event because I can act. The trailers are awesome because you can put them anywhere as long as you have a generator and a way to transfer water. You can put them anywhere. So.
Yeah, and a lot of times generators and having to bring in your own water, sometimes those can be an extreme rental. Like that doesn't happen very often, and that's your first rental. You basically there's nothing anybody can really throw at you at that point to say, yeah, we can't handle that or that. Now that you can
Exactly. We can go anywhere. After that, we can go anywhere. So
yeah. So was there a defining win that gave you the confidence that told yourself that you were on the right track? This is a good business.
Yeah, I would say in April, I had a long-term client come on. They wanted a trailer, and it was a 2-station. I ended up getting it through you guys. It was a quick turnaround again. Thank you for that. And then, it was a long-term job. It's all said and done. When it finishes up, it's going to be about a 10-month rental. It's going to end in February.
That's awesome.
So it's awesome. And that kind of gave me confidence in this business that like this is something I can do, and opened me up to the world of long-term rentals, which is a space I really want to be in. That was my big win that inspired confidence in me and like made me realize that this is legit. This is what I want to do.
So you mentioned the long-term rentals. What were some hurdles that you had what were some things that happened on a long-term rental that you didn't expect to happen?
Yeah. So, it's been pretty smooth on that rental so far. I had like a few things with power supply issues, but that was all on them. They basically overloaded a circuit once. And I noticed it when I was checking in on it that there was no power. I was like, so I left a little note on the outlet, like, hey, like, don't plug anything else into it. Some guy was charging his Tesla off the same outlet that my trailer was plugged into.
That's awesome. That's not going to hurt anything.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, it tripped that. And other than that, like nothing crazy has happened on it. But just getting the trailer in time for that client was huge for me. You guys working with you guys to be able to like expedite the trailer to get here, because they basically hit me up on, it was like April 5th, and they were like, hey, I want this 2-station trailer. When can you drop it? And so I had to kind of scramble and like get a trailer as soon as possible. And I think it was like like maybe 8 days later when I had that 2 station like
Mm-hmm.
delivered to them. So like it was a quick turnaround thanks to you guys.
Yeah, that was. I do remember that one. That was. There was a lot of running around.
Yeah, for
We did
sure.
jump through some hoops, but that's kind of what we do. To try to help out as much as we can. So aside from that long-term rental, the other rentals that you saw in your first year, what types of events or clients made up all those
Yeah.
rentals?
So we do a lot of events. Like I said, I have 4 trailers, so 2 of them are on long terms right now. The other 2 are for events, um, and a lot of the events are going to be weddings and corporate
Mm-hmm.
events so far. I would say mainly weddings, especially. That's been like a big client of mine. Um, I'm in with a few planners, and then I get a lot of just brides that find me online and want to book. So weddings have been our biggest like uh, single type of event, and then corporate events have been the second. And then of course the long terms provide us
Yeah.
that cash flow.
So from those weddings and corporate events, which are great events to get, there's not a lot of wear and tear on your trailers. What are the most important lessons you learned from them? So what are things that you needed or didn't need on your trailer with your trailer?
Yeah, so for weddings, I would say it's really important to just people. It's like the biggest day of these brides' life. So it's very important that you are on time. You communicate well. Basically, they just want like comfort, knowing that they chose the right provider and that you can be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you want to provide them with a nice bathroom as well, which we always will do. But half the battle with them is just being competent and basically gaining their trust. So you got to
Mm-hmm.
be very good at communicating and show up on time. Like that's half the battle right there with these weddings.
So at wedding venues, do you ever run into like what issues do you run? Water issues, power issues? Do you always keep your generator there just in case?
Yeah, so I always keep a generator on me
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of times they'll be like, "Yeah, we have an outlet available, this and that," but they have like DJs and all this stuff, a lot of other electrical draws coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely say it's good to have a generator on you at all times in case. But yeah, definitely prefer to plug into an outlet if it's available and it looks good because it's just one less thing to go wrong. But
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of times, those questions that you ask whenever you're going to these venues, do you have, say, a 20 amp outlet available? And everybody always says yes, but nobody understands what that means. Whether it's a dedicated line or, they got a crock pot plugged into it, or the DJ comes by and unplugs that because he's got to plug in a speaker or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's like one of those things where um they don't really know. Like
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna tell you yes if they see any outlet, but they don't. But when the day comes and all the vendors and everyone are there, like whose outlet is that really? So,
Right, right. So, so tell me a little bit about the investments. We talked about, equipment with a generator. What other investments have you made that paid off for you in the first year, like marketing or partnerships?
yeah. So both of those actually, marketing and partnerships. So I've spent a good amount of money on marketing myself, just through Google ads and Facebook ads, and building my website and all that. So that's been a great source of leads for myself. So that's paid off immensely. And then I also have a partnership with another company here in Austin, or they're just north of Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Cap City Rentals. They have Lang trailers as well. They
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of them. And I often can't fulfill jobs because I don't have the inventory right now. So I will work with them and they'll provide the trailer for the job. And they have Langs as well. So I mean, we have the same trailer, so it's for the client, it's the same thing. And
Yeah,
that partnership has been great for me. Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely helpful when you connect with another company that has the exact same equipment as you do. It's not foreign to you. It's not if something goes wrong, you know how to fix it
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
quick. Yeah. So, um, with the rest, considering the restroom trailer business, what myth or misconceptions um, do you think that are out there that you'd like to clear up from everything that you know from the past year? What have you learned that really isn't true or is true?
Yeah. So one thing I see a lot, especially on like social media, like TikTok and Facebook and stuff like that, is people think it's like you can get into this business for $10,000, buy one of those like
Hmm.
overseas trailers. And, you
Yep.
know, people on my comments on TikTok are always like, oh, it's only $10,000, like this and that. And they'll try to post a link or whatever. Don't buy those trailers. They're going to break on you. I've heard so many horror stories. And also, not to mention, you have to pay for like customs and shipping and all that. And by the time it's all said and done, maybe you save a little bit of money, but also you have no peace of mind. Like if something breaks, you're screwed.
Yep.
And
There's no support.
exactly. So that's a big misconception, is that if you want to get a trailer, I would definitely do your research on your dealer or your manufacturer and make sure that there's going to be a good support system, which you guys have. And that's why I love working with Lang.
Yeah. Awesome. So what advice would you give to somebody if they wanted to buy their first trailer? They're thinking about getting into the business.
If they're thinking about getting into the business, I would say don't neglect your digital presence. So make sure you have a website up and running. Make sure you have like just a little budget that you're willing to spend on advertising. That's going to be a source of leads for you. You need to be able to be found online. So make sure you spend money in marketing yourself, because that's going to get you jobs ultimately. And if you're going to spend money on anything, I believe marketing should be your top priority, at least in the beginning, because you need to get your name out there.
Okay. So what else do you do besides, like the Google ads and your website? Is there any things, like I call it grassroots? Do you do any local stuff, any print ads, high school ads for like graduation parties, anything like that?
I have not done anything like that yet. Yeah, so far everything's been like digital. Everything's been inbound digital stuff, but I do actually want to start doing like outbound, maybe like trying to reach out to event planners and venues and stuff like that. Something I do want to explore. And once maybe that'll be my winter project this winter.
Okay. Yeah. And now, so you sound educated on, the digital side. If someone doesn't have any experience in that, like with Google ads, how hard is it to get started in that? Is it pretty easy?
It's, if you're willing to learn and you have the time, it's possible. You do have to be careful. You could potentially like spend a lot of money or waste a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. So if you're going to do it yourself, take the time to really learn and understand how it works. If not, there's people that you can hire to do it for you.
Okay. So let's just touch base on long-term rentals. When they come up, and I'm sure they vary, from sites and whether it's construction sites or I think what's your 10-month rental? What did you learn from that maintenance wise? Did you contract? Did you do the cleaning yourself? Did you do the pumping out yourself?
Yeah. So I don't have a pump truck yet. So I contract out the pumping to a porta potty company.
Okay.
I work with them a lot. I send them a lot of pump jobs. So they charge me $125 to $150 a pump.
Okay.
And it makes sense that the cost gets passed along to the client anyway. So yeah, I contract out the pumping, and then the cleaning for the long terms. The customer is responsible for the cleaning and restocking. They have, at least on my long terms, they have cleaning staff that come and like clean like the offices and stuff. So they're basically in charge of treating the trailer like it's their own bathroom and cleaning it and restocking. So my job, other than like making sure maintenance is good and nothing is broken, is as simple as just checking up every now and then. Yeah.
Do you go to it like once a week, twice a week?
Yeah, like once a week. I try to go there like once a week just to make sure everything's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you offer the cleaning services? Is that something that you would offer, or do
I would
try to sub it out?
I would offer it if it's a local job, like if it's not going to be too far. And I also want to get a pump truck eventually. But I'm at a point where I have to decide, like, do I want to spend my money on another trailer, or do I want to buy a pump truck? And a pump truck is probably multiple trailers, actually. So right now, I think I'm going like add some more trailers before I do pump truck.
Yeah, typically we have these conversations about pump trucks and getting into that. I mean, that becomes a full-time gig, at that point. When you get up into 5 and 6 trailers, and they're all running every weekend, that's when it really, you see those pump out fees really start to stack up, and then, it's one of those things where, what, I could be making that money, by investing in a pump truck.
Yeah. Yeah. When I get to that point where I feel like revenue wise, I'm going to save more money having a pump truck versus what a trailer could bring me in per month, then definitely. Yeah.
You're definitely on the way. You're almost there.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So if you could sum up your first year in business, which I think you were on track. You're doing a great job. The long-term rentals definitely help. The weddings and the corporate events are great for cash flow. They're weekend events and they're constant. They're always there. So if you could sum up your first year in a phrase, what would it be?
One word, it would be interesting.
Okay.
I did not expect it to be this way. I mean, I thought I was going to be mainly doing like events, like weddings and stuff like that. I thought, hey, it'd be awesome if I could add like one more trailer, if I could get to 2 trailers by the end of 2025. Obviously, that's not been the case, and I've been lucky enough to have some jobs come my way that required me to buy more trailers. So I think it kind of opened my mind to all the different use cases for restroom trailers that I never even thought of. Like these long-term jobs. I have a school district job that I've subbed out to Cap City actually. But there's so many different uses that I just wasn't aware of before. So
right. Yeah. So many different avenues. Everybody needs a bathroom, and sometimes they just pop up and it's like, you shake your head at it. I'm like, okay. Yeah. You need it. Everybody needs to have something there. So
yeah.
What's the farthest you've traveled for a job?
Dude, I went to Laredo, Texas. It was my 3rd ever job. So I was like I was taking whatever.
Yeah.
So Laredo, it's like on the border of Texas and Mexico. It's about 4 hours, 3.5, 4 hours south of where I am. And yeah, it was a backyard wedding down there. The guy I actually found, the way I got the job was through a Facebook group, the Restroom Trailer Facebook group. The guy was like, hey, who's got restroom trailers in San Antonio? I thought it was a San Antonio job. So I was like, hey, like I got you. That's only an hour south of us. But then he hit me. Then once I talked to him, he's like, yeah, I wanted to see who was in San Antonio because I figured they would be down to come to Laredo. But I was like, yeah, I'm down. Like, this is my 3rd ever job and no one else is going to book the trailer on this day. So this is my best option. So I went down to Laredo. And yeah, it was interesting.
Did you spend the night? Did you drive?
Oh, yeah, spent the night.
Okay,
yeah.
All right. Yeah, doing with 16 hours of road time. Yeah, that would with a trailer, that'd be that's a lot of windshield time.
So. Oh yeah, I mean, I'm down to do it again too. Like spend the night somewhere. Like I charged enough to where like my hotel was covered, like all the travel expenses were covered. So it's actually like it's not bad, but I don't think it scales. Like if I have like where I'm at right now, if I wanted to do multiple events in a weekend. I'd have to basically hire someone to go drop that off. But yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Now, are there any events that you tend to try to stay away from?
No, not right now. Right now, I'm kind of just
okay.
I'm willing to quote everything. Like, yeah, maybe at some point there is a few types of events that I noticed that kind of trash the trailer a little more than I would like. But again, it's kind of just part of the business.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, dude, I thank you. These are just some quick hitting podcast style interviews that we do. If there's, any recommendation or any other advice you want to give to anybody looking to start in the industry, what do you got?
I would say go through Lang.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I would say go through Lang and the reason I say that is because the support has been amazing. Like anything that has ever happened, you guys have just been on it. So, restroom trailers, you guys build a great product. But there's a lot of moving parts and things happen. So being able to have a dealer that is there to support you and help you through anything that happens is invaluable. So
yeah, we believe if you're successful, we're going to be successful. So we try to do as much as we can. And I truly appreciate it. So
yeah.
So, hey, well, thank you again. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. And good luck.
Awesome. Thank you, Don.
All right. Yep.